Hello everyone. Today we will discuss a topic under environmental studies and environmental law. Today's topic is powers and functions of a National Green Tribunal. We have already discussed the composition and establishment of National Green Tribunal in previous lectures. Today we will discuss about its powers and functions. The list of topics to be covered here is the introduction, powers and functions of NGT, and certain related case studies. The National Green Tribunal has been created with an aim to check industrial pollution and allow aggrieved persons to approach the tribunal to claim civil damages for non-implementation of environmental laws. The National Green Tribunal has lessened the burden of the courts in the country as it has taken over 5,600 cases related to environment. Thus, India has become the third country in the world to have special courts for environmental issues. The need to always protect the environment and wildlife of a country is something which is always constant. In order to make sure that the environment of India is safeguarded, including the forest and wildlife of the country, the Indian government has always looked for a better way to do so, which led to the creation of the National Green Tribunal in 2010 under the National Green Tribunal Act of 2010. The statutory tribunal was created by the central government with the main purpose of taking care of the environmental issues and providing solutions to them. There are certain powers of National Green Tribunal. The tribunal has several powers which include regulating the procedure by itself without having to follow the principle of the Civil Procedure Code. It follows the principle of natural justice to apply the principle of sustainable development at the time of giving orders. Also, it is to apply the rule that anyone who is found polluting will have to pay. The National Green Tribunal will not be limited by the rules of evidence which is mentioned in the Indian Evidence Act. All the proceedings before the tribunal shall be accorded to the judicial proceedings within the meaning of section 193, 219 and 228 for the purpose of section 196 of the Indian Penal Code. The tribunal shall be allowed to be a civil court for the purposes of section 195 and chapter 26 of the Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973. Now let's discuss some functions of the NGT. Following are the functions vested in National Green Tribunal. It has jurisdiction to decide all the matters involving substantial question regarding the environment and its protection and any legal right so connected with it. This being a statutory authority exercises not only original jurisdiction but also has appellate jurisdiction. It considers some principles before deciding any case, such as sustainable development, polluter pays principle, precautionary principle, etc. It can order to a party or any such person to pay compensation and relief that has caused damage to the environment and to the victims by using hazardous substances. It can also order for restitution of property and restitution of the damaged environment. Also, an appeal can be filed to the Supreme Court against the order of the National Green Tribunal. Following are the other functions which are performed by the National Green Tribunal. Being expertise in environmental issues, it has to handle all the disputes related to the environment and other related Multidisciplinary issues. It must provide speedy trial and speedy justice in all related matters and must help reducing the burden of the same cases pending in higher courts. NGT is mandated to dispose of the cases within 6 months from the date of filing of the complaint. All the proceedings under NGT shall have to be accorded with the proceedings within the sections of the Indian Penal Code. Now let's discuss certain case studies. First, we have Save Mon Region Federation and others versus Union of India and others. This case filed by a federation along with a social activist against the clearance given to a hydro project of worth rupees Indian rupees 6,400 crores. This project was against the Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 as it was very close to a wintering site of black-necked crane, a type of bird. Seeing the danger, the tribunal held that such project must be terminated and gave order to suspend the clearance. The tribunal also asked the Ministry of Environment and Forest to prepare a case study on the protection of such birds so involved in the matter. In another case of Samir Mehta versus Union of India and others, this is one of the landmark cases that created history. In this case, complaint was filed by an environmentalist regarding the most serious damage caused by the coal, fuel oil and diesel carrying ship. When the ship was wrecked, a thick layer of oil was formed over the sea surface, which caused a serious damage to the marine ecosystem and aquatic world. The tribunal, by applying polluter pays principle, held the negligence was caused on the part of the respondent, and the tribunal also said that they had not adhered to the pre-voyage principle. Thus, they are liable for all the damage caused. In another case of Almitra H. Patel versus and others versus Union of India and others, in this case PIL was filed under Article 32 of the Constitution regarding the treatment of solid waste management practice in India. The tribunal considered it a major problem and issued over 25 directions and guidelines after hearing the case. The tribunal asked all the states to strictly follow Solid Management Rules 2016. Strict prohibition was made on openly burning of waste on land. Another case was Miss Betty C. Alvarez versus the state of Goa and others. In this case, a complaint was made by a foreign nationality regarding an illegal construction in Goa which has against the laws. There were two objections raised in this case. First was that the complainant being a foreigner does not have the right to file petition before tribunal, and secondly was that the matter was barred by the limitation law. But the tribunal, disagreeing from the objection raised, held that this application is maintainable and foreign national can also approach the National Green Tribunal.